And a huge congratulations on getting to do stuff with Fox Sports Carolina during
Thank
playoffs.
you.
Like, I was so thrilled. I've watched Hurricanes like since I can remember. I mean, my youngest my was growing up at the Carolina Hurricanes and watching hockey. So it's been, like you said, we've had some rough years. So getting back into this, it's so cool.
More power to you guys, like sticking with it.
I was at the 0506 game, like that whole
Oh my gosh.
I got to see it. But it's like, you have all the fans who like come in and are like, oh, we're fans now that we're winning. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you were not.
Nope, get out of here.
You
Yeah,
were
I'm
not
one of those
here.
fans. I'm the one that came in and jumped on the bandwagon when we started. No, I'm kidding. But I envy those people that got to be at that game and witness the playoff run. And for me, it's tough because, like, working with Tripp and Mike, they're able to pull stories from that experience. And I'm like, like I lack that. I wish I would have, been engulfed in this organization. But, I've experienced some really cool stuff the last couple of years.
It's unbelievable. And I can't say enough about the team that we do have and the team that continues to progress. I mean, Rod Brind'Amour, can't say enough about,
oh my gosh.
like, when he was brought in as head coach, it was so cool to be able to be like,
yeah,
that is fantastic. And I know that everybody in Raleigh was so thrilled to have him as part of this organization.
And he's totally not disappointed either. And it's really cool. Like, I think that's my favorite part about him. And that's why I have no doubts, like, we're going to win a Stanley Cup while he's head coach, because he's doing it for all the right reasons. He's not doing it he loves the game of hockey. He loves the game of hockey. And he's such an ambassador for the game itself, but he loves the Canes too, and the organization. And it's so cool to watch. Like, there was one of the videos we used in one of the broadcasts for the playoffs was his birthday, his birthday video. And if you watch that so if you watch the full thing on Twitter, I wish we would have gotten to run the whole thing on the broadcast, but on Twitter, he like gets the cake and then he stands up and he starts doing a speech about like how much it means to be a Carolina Hurricane. And it's like, where is this coming from? It's little things like that he does and tries to remind the guys in the community how much he cares about the Carolina Hurricanes. Like, you don't find that with a lot of coaches. And if some guy tweeted one of the, I can't remember specifically who it was. I want to say maybe it was like Pierre, one of the big hockey gurus on Twitter, tweeted something about like Rod and his contract, or where would Rod go? Rod will not coach anywhere else in this league besides for the Hurricanes. And that makes it so special too, because it's not about money or politics for him. It's about like what he cares about, and it's the team and the community. And that's just like the best person you can have as a leader.
He loves this city. And I saw that video and it warmed my heart, because he completely turned it around from, it wasn't about his birthday. It was about people in Raleigh and how much they cared and everything. And I was like, you can't even put into words what this city probably means to him.
I know.
But I can't say enough about him. He's just a fantastic head coach, and like we said, we're so lucky to have him.
And it's so great to hear from people like you who've grown up with the game, and even with this kid. There's so many people that I'm sure have grown up with his kids, which just makes it even more special. Like they're just a part of the community. And so I love hearing those stories about Max, my co-host. He actually, so it's funny, he got the job for the in-game co-host job or whatever. And I, one of the first couple of games we were working, I'm like, so tell me your background. Like, what do you want to do? And he's like, well, I'm in radio, but honestly, like this gig, like I've always been a diehard Carolina Hurricanes fan. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this, like why, how great would it be to get paid to watch my favorite team, up close and personal. And so he always had some really awesome stories about him going to the Stanley Cup final games, and him watching the games as a kid. And to see the perspective and hear the perspective of the fans that truly have been so engulfed with this team for as long as they've been here through the ups and downs. It's just a great reminder of how special, you know, the community and the organization here is.
Yeah, it's super cool because my dad, even before that, was watching the Carolina Hurricanes. And I mean, he tells me the story all the time of when we played Detroit and went into all these extra OTs. And he was like, the guy I brought with me literally fell asleep next to me because we had just kept going. So it's like, I'm the same way. It's super cool to hear stories from events that, you know, I was too young to remember, but it's like, it's still part of the Hurricanes history.
And I'm like, I've only been covering the team, I guess, for 3 seasons. And really, like, last season, I'll never forget this. It was when we swept the Islanders, like Game 4 at PNC. I had actual tears coming out of my eyes, and I was like, "What am I like? What's happening to me?" Like, I'm this, like, you know, like, emotionally invested in this team. Like, I've never been that way with a team, especially as a reporter, because, like, you know, you can't, there's all the bias, and, you know, you have to be careful about, you know, how much you get stuck on one team, and you jump around a lot. And, you know, the Carolina Panthers were never, you know, that great, and the Hornets were the Bobcats and then the Hornets. And so, like, I never really had a team until I got to NC State, and it was like all NC State basketball, football. And so the Hurricanes, like, I just like start crying, like, after we swept the Islanders. I was like, what is happening? I can't imagine these people that have been waiting 10 years for this. Like, I've only been here a year.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were at the Game 6 of the Washington Hurricanes game.
Oh my God.
And then when we were in Game 7, I literally, my neighbors down below me in my apartment, I made angry because I kept like jumping up and down. And I just remember getting on the phone afterwards with my sister, because her and I grew up in this crazy hockey world. And I was like, her and I were like crying. We're like, we just beat the Capitals in Game 7. And it was like insanity. And then we got on the phone with Dad, and he's like, we're going to Game 3 of the Islanders. And I was like, I was like, yeah. So it's, I mean, it's, I have the same emotions. Like, I've been watching for so many, like, I'll burst out into tears just so just when those
but like, you deserve to. I'm like, oh my God, I can't, like, what if I'm only like in season 2 and I'm crying tears of joy? But
it's this team.
So
I have to tell you, I don't know what it is about them, but they just care so much. So I think that makes it better. I think it really does.
For sure.